Well, good morning, everybody. It's April, your financial coach in your pocket. And today is hump day. I love that freaking commercial with the camel. It always makes me crack up. But anyway, so I wanted to pop in again to talk about solo and secure retreat. Anyway, I came across an article by Charles Schwab or somewhere therein. And the article was talking about retirement planning by the decades or by each decade. And so I actually took a look at the article because I wanted to just see what they were talking about. I actually did retirement planning by the decades, and I interview people in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, 60s. I don't think I got to anybody in their 70s. I don't think I found anybody. But I hit all the decades, and I just talked about what each decade did and what you were doing or what was going on, and just had a conversation with different people around just what I thought about what happens in each decade. So that's on my YouTube channel, zelkinfinancial.com. Anyway, or you can find me under Zelkin Financial. So after reading the article, I thought it correlated with what I will be doing at the retreat. And so just the gist of it focused around budgeting, the other B word, not bitch, no, let me stop. Also debt and savings. And it talked about some other things. But those are the three things that I wanted to just focus on around conversating today. So when people think about budgeting, there are all these thoughts and constraints that come with that term in and of itself. And so I want to say that when I thought about it and actually wrote a program, a workbook that went with a course, and I sell the course and I also sell the workbook separately. However, it's called Tell Your Money What to Do. So essentially, when people think of budget, a lot of times people don't necessarily have that. They're like, I don't really got one. I just know we got to pay bills and this and that. And there's just all this commentary that goes around that. And so I wanted to approach it from a different perspective, just a different wordplay, which is tell your money what to do. So think of yourself like a coach on any team, whether it's basketball, baseball, lacrosse, hockey, football, doesn't matter. If you are the coach of a team, each position does something different. So think of your money like you're the coach of your money and you're telling your money what to do. So each position it plays, it's got a job, a function to do. So when I think about budget, that's what I'm thinking about, telling your money what to do. So that's one piece of it that I'll be talking about at the retreat. Another piece is debt. So whether you've got credit card debt, student loan debt, personal loan debt, whatever kind of debt you have, you really need to focus in on that. Because if you don't, that can really disrupt what you're trying to do in reference to telling your money what to do. So I'll talk around that and about that and just what to be thinking about and how to really just get a handle on that. And the other piece will be savings. You know, there are a couple of things that you can think about. You know, most people want to have an emergency fund. So you want your money to be liquid, what we call liquidity, and you want easy access to it. So when you have something that's unexpected, whether you got to put new brakes on, you got to buy a new tire or new tires or whatever it is that pops up, that you have the funds to be able to go into it and pay for whatever you need to pay for and then go from there without having to necessarily, if you can help it, not put that on a credit card. So those are three things that the article talked about that I'll be addressing also in the retreat. And I think they all build on each other. So debt can really crash you out. It doesn't allow for you to save. If you're not telling your money what to do and how to work for you, that can crash you out too. So that is what I will be focusing on in this retreat and giving you some actionable things to do like the next day, Monday, and you'll have a workbook that you'll have that's yours to be able to revert back to or refer back to, okay, she said this. What the hell was she talking about when she said this? I don't remember. It was a whole lot of damn information she gave us. So I don't want to overwhelm people when I'm talking about this, but I do want to give you things to think about and things to do. And so I know that there'll also be an estate piece that's going to be Tanya's in wheelhouse, and she'll be talking about that. You'll also get a workbook from her because you'll be able to refer back to what she's talked about, and you'll have something to go back to. And then on top of that, you get an opportunity to sit down with me for after the whole retreat is over. So in the next 2 weeks, I usually schedule people out. We'll sit down, we'll have a conversation. And generally speaking, when we do have that conversation, I want you to come in with questions because you might have a burning question that I didn't answer at the retreat. I didn't answer when we had an opportunity or time to be together as a group. And you want specifics around that. And we can have a conversation around that. I'm always thinking about and looking at what others are putting out there in the industry. And what it does for me is it gives me credibility because I'm not the only person talking about these things. So they're actually conducting surveys and asking people questions around finances because the goal is to really figure out what people are concerned about and what they're focused on. And so for me, my goal is to be transparent and to serve you as best I can. You might not necessarily be my client, but if I can put you in a better position to move forward with whatever your plan is or their lack of, and for you to create one, because that's the other piece. Part of the conversation around this is really to have a plan. And I know 20s might be like, what? Oh my God, I'm just trying to work. I'm trying to get a career started. But if you can put something in writing that you look at and you're like, okay, for the next 10 years, this is where my focus is going to be. This is what I want to see financially happen for myself, and have some plans or goals or whatever the hell you want to call it. Have something that you can aspire to. That's what you want to complete in that decade's period. Then that's what you work towards. I'm pulling this from Gino Wickman. I love all of his books. Let me just say, anyway, so he talks about focusing in on a decade and how a decade can show you if you've moved the needle for your organization, but really just translating for yourself, have you moved the needle for yourself in terms of the progression that you'd like to see in your finances, depending on what that plan is. And it's either nay or yay. And the goal is small wins. You might have big wins and you might not have big wins. You might have small wins. You might have some wins. However, if you've got something that you can look at, that you can go back to and be like, okay, check. This is really moving in the direction I wanted to. That's great. Check. This is not. Maybe I need to go back to the drawing board. What do I need to do? What does my focus need to be? And so that kind of thing. And so that's really what I'm gearing towards, really, when we sit down for this retreat, and having you just think about what that looks like for yourself. So I want to say I look forward to you coming to Solo and Secure Retreat, Financial Basics for Singles, June 26th through the 28th at Moorhead Manor in the Bull City. So have a great day, and I'll see you soon.